From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
This is kind of unusual.
Tragedy on the tracks, what we are learning this morning after a person is killed in a Columbus train crash.
I wish I could take him to a store and go pick out a costume.
Plus, a way to enjoy Halloween for everyone. How Billings Clinic is opening up a chance for kids with disabilities to have a costume of their own.
So we weren't getting any help out of the sky, and the water just wasn't in the streams.
Historically low flows and another year of drought is impacting ranchers across the Blackfoot Valley.
Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Monday, October 20th. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson. Good morning, Miller. Happy Monday.
Well, happy Monday. Good morning, Hailey, and happy Monday, everybody. After the weekend, back at it we go.
Yes.
Big story today is going to be cooler and it's going to be windy. We're behind a cold front, knocking those temperatures down and really kicking those winds up. Now, yesterday, not too bad with that temperature, man. 10 degrees above the norm. Today, we're going to be below average, and then we're going to warm right back up again. Yesterday, we had a top gust of 44 miles an hour. That's going to be the problem today. Probably going to start to kick in. We're seeing it around Livingston already, but as we go along this morning, it will start to spread to the rest of the area. So if you drive a high-profile vehicle, a big truck, a big rig, if you're pulling a trailer, could fishtail on you. Just watch out for those winds, at least this afternoon through this evening. Yesterday, we did have a little bit of rain. We're doing great in terms of the monthly total, and for the year, we're pacing well ahead. Now, we still have issues with our radar here locally in Billings, but what we do see is we don't have a lot going on right now, but we still have a chance to see some of the mountain snow and some lower elevation rain, at least through this morning from west to east, and then dry conditions coming in for the rest of the week as high pressure takes over behind this cold front. Right now, we've got temperatures in the 30s and 40s, 38 in Harlingen, 46 right now in Columbus, 38 in Red Lodge, as well as Baker and Ekalaka. We've got 40 in Miles City. Here in Billings, we're sitting at 44, so we're a little warmer than average, but a day where we're going to stay below norm today behind that cold front, and then those warmer temperatures will come in. You can see the winds will be the big issue as we go along today as we take a look at that day planner with our high getting up to about 54. So 40s and 50s today, then back into the 60s, maybe even flirting with some 70s by the end of the week, and then maybe some changes for the weekend. We'll take a look at all of this as we go along this hour, so stick around.
All right, so after all the wind knocks down the leaves today, then we have some nice weather to pick them up.
Yes,
all right, perfect. Thanks, Miller.
You got it.
And we begin with continuing coverage in Columbus this morning. One person is dead after being hit by a train while walking on the tracks. Emergency crews swarmed the area around 10:30 Sunday morning. NTSB confirms on social media it was a BNSF conductor who died after being struck by another moving train. Investigators with BNSF are still working to determine what led up to the crash. We also continue to follow tragedy in western Montana this morning. A father and his two daughters are dead after a small plane went down deep in the Bob Marshall Wilderness between Lincoln and Polson Friday night. Now, emergency crews say Mark Anderson and his two daughters, Lainey and Ellie of Alabama, took off from Billings around 2 o'clock Friday and headed for Polson. But the three never made it, with the Powell County Sheriff's Office receiving reports of a downed plane around 4:30 that afternoon. Crews from Malmstrom Air Force Base launched a search, but were unable to locate the wreckage until Saturday morning. The aircraft was found in a remote wooded area near Youngs Creek, northeast of Seeley Lake. Sanders Aviation in Jasper, Alabama announced Lainey's death on Facebook, saying they were on a family vacation. They said Lainey was a skilled aviator and flight instructor, and all three will be deeply missed. Over the weekend, the Defense Department confirmed another deadly strike on an alleged drug vessel in international waters. The Trump administration says the strikes have killed more than 30 people so far, ratcheting up tensions between the U.S. and multiple South American countries, including Colombia. Meanwhile, a federal probe is underway over a platform built in a tree near the airport that President Trump frequently uses in Florida. Bradley Blackburn has more.
The FBI is leading an investigation into what they call a suspicious old tree stand near West Palm Beach Airport, where President Trump flies in and out of whenever he travels to his Mar-a-Lago home. The Secret Service says it spotted the stand while preparing for the president's arrival over the weekend. The Trump administration released footage of its seventh known strike on an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean Sea last week. It comes as Colombian President Gustavo Petro has accused the U.S. of committing murder, claiming that a September strike killed fishermen. President Trump hit back, calling Petro an illegal drug dealer, while threatening to pull aid and slap Colombia with tariffs.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia. and we're not going to be part of it. So we're going to drop all money that we're giving to them.
Members of Congress have criticized the strikes.
I do worry about the legal authorities, or lack thereof.
All of these people have been blown up without us knowing their name, without any evidence of a crime.
Meanwhile, as pressure builds to end the Russia-Ukraine war, President Trump Sunday repeated his plea that both sides cease fighting and claim victory.
They should stop right now at the battle lines, go home, stop killing people, and be done.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed skepticism that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is serious about peace negotiations.
This war is not about the land and not about territories for him. It's about our sovereignty.
President Trump is preparing for another summit with Putin soon in Budapest. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And today, the federal government shutdown stretches into day 20. Officials say Senate Republicans have been invited to the White House for lunch on Tuesday. Senate GOP members are considering votes this week on bills that would allow certain federal employees, like active duty military, to be paid as the stalemate stretches on. On Saturday, millions joined together across the nation for rallies in both major cities and smaller towns. And that was on full display right here in Montana, with rallies held all across the state, from big cities like Bozeman, Missoula, Kalispell, and Great Falls, and right here in Billings, to smaller towns like West Yellowstone and Forsyth. Tens of thousands of Montanans spent the day protesting President Trump's administration. It was all part of the No Kings protest, organized by a coalition of over 200 groups. This weekend, ongoing repairs continued at the Montana State Prison as crews worked around the clock to fix major water issues plaguing the facility for more than a week. It could be months before the prison has its water back up and running. MTN's John Amy was there to take a look at what was in store for crews this weekend.
For the next 60 to 90 days, some of the inmates at the Montana State Prison will have to be showering here, as the prison has determined they have to completely overhaul their water system.
It doesn't get any more serious than this. The way you have to look at it is, this is a little city. This is a town that no longer has water.
A week prior, prison officials thought they were dealing with a leaky water pipe. After discovering multiple system failures, the Department of Corrections will begin putting in new water lines by next week. The process could take between 60 to 90 days to complete.
This system is over 50 years old, so it's just time. It's time. It's lived its course, and now we have to replace it.
Funding will come from approved legislation earlier this year to provide $21 million for infrastructure repairs. Until the system is completed, most inmates will continue to use portable toilets, showers, and bottled water. The National Guard will continue to fill the prison's main water tank. MTN News has heard concerns from relatives of inmates and an inmate about the conditions at the prison during the water crisis. Prison officials say they are keeping inmates informed about the situation, and they are trying to keep daily life as normal as possible.
Getting them out of a structure, out of their normal schedule, is just like everybody. Everybody has their own particular routines. You get them out of there, it's a disruption, and it's kind of hard.
To ease the disruption, mobile showers have been brought to the prison so every prisoner can get a shower every 3 days. Prison staff is asking inmates to cooperate until the water system can be fixed.
We can't continue to Band-Aid this thing as we're building brand new units. Now's the time. We need to stop doing the duct tape and fix it and get the new system in.
In Deer Lodge, John Amy, MTN News.
John, thank you for the update. Saturday was a day of celebration at the Billings Fire Department as several members and 2 citizens were presented awards for their bravery in emergent situations. Our Vanessa Willardson was there and explains why.
Today's ceremony has been a reminder that our success as a department is built not only on individual heroism, but on teamwork, family support, and community that stands behind us.
It's not every day that citizens are awarded for their bravery. But Saturday afternoon, 2 teenage girls were recognized for life-saving actions that they performed way back in July.
I heard the screaming in the middle of the lake, like people screaming for help, so then I just went over.
Sadie DeBusk was at Lake Elmo paddleboarding when she heard a commotion a short distance away and saw a 10-year-old girl and her father struggling to stay above water.
I saw the little girl was screaming and crying, and I went over and I got her on my paddleboard.
She and another girl nearby, Hallelujah McPherson, immediately sprang into action.
She was just laying down. She was kind of out of it a little bit, just scared. And I remember Hailey was really good at helping with trying to calm her down.
Thanks to DeBusk and McPherson, the young girl and her father were able to make it halfway to shore before firefighter crews showed up and helped carry them the rest of the way.
It really made a huge difference for us because that was, the time frame.
Battalion Chief Rick Schauer was one of the first responders at the scene.
They were on scene already, identified it, made a quick grab and helped them, while we were still responding actually.
While McPherson could not make it to the ceremony, both her and DeBusk were recognized with Citizen Service medals. Also recognized in the ceremony were 6 firefighters who performed acts of bravery this year, such as delivering premature twins and rescuing people from burning buildings. Assistant Training Chief Chris Baller says awards like these don't just go to anyone.
We're very honored to have this award ceremony today. It is a great honor for the heroism that we have seen, both with the fire department as well as citizens of Billings.
It makes me appreciate everyone that's a first responder, especially just because they go out there and they know that something's happening and they know that they have to help.
In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
Vanessa, great story. Thank you. While we've been seeing rain a lot recently, it's not necessarily an accurate reflection of the dry conditions some experienced over the summer. The Blackfoot River had several historically low flows rippling throughout the valley, impacting ranchers and residents. MTN's Caroline Weiss set out to speak to those affected firsthand in this morning's Montana Ag Report.
Historically low flows and another year of drought is impacting ranchers across the Blackfoot Valley.
And it just didn't rain. It rained around us, but Potomac and the Blackfoot in general was just under an umbrella all summer.
It stood out to Denny Iverson,
Retired rancher who still ranches.
For 50 years, Iverson and his family have run cattle in Potomac.
As ranchers, we want to do a good job. We want to take care of the land. We want to be productive.
For decades, they've been irrigating off Union Creek, always leaving water for the fish and the people downstream. This year, they had to stop before the end of June.
And about a month and a half after we quit irrigating, the creek actually dried up, and I hadn't seen that in 50 years. And I've talked to some older folks that have been here longer than we have, and they said, yeah, they'd never seen that either. So it was pretty dramatic.
And it's not just Potomac.
We're coming off of actually one of the worst droughts that's on record for the Blackfoot River. Just to kind of put it into context, they've been measuring flows in the Blackfoot River for about 92 years. And this September, we hit historic record lows for most of the month.
Clancy Gendreau is a water steward for collaborative conservation group Blackfoot Challenge. He says this year was particularly tough for many.
The river is really the lifeblood of this community and this valley. And speaking both from, the wildlife and the animals that utilize the river, but also the economies that are based on it.
Like many across the valley, Iverson was short on hay and was forced to sell off some of the family's cattle herd. Along with changing their practices, like grazing more, it's gotten them through tough years.
Our forages just didn't grow back after we grazed them either. So it was tough, but we destocked some last year. The boys are going to destock some more this fall because it's going to take a while to come out of this drought. It's one good hard winter isn't going to fix it.
Working with communities across the valley, the Blackfoot Challenge has long helped coordinate a voluntary drought response program.
In those 26 years that we've had that in place, we've experienced some level of drought in 17 of those.
While the valley is used to drought, this year has shifted the focus to the future.
We're planning ahead that we're just not going to have the water. We've been through it before. We'll survive it.
Despite the drought, the communities are coming together to help each other and the place they love and to keep on ranching.
There's a real understanding between the ranchers and those that aren't ranchers that we're all here because we love the landscape. We love the valley.
In Potomac, Caroline Weiss, MTN News.